So you and I have talked a little bit about fear. We talked about how Captain Sully Sullivan should have been freaking out. If I was, I'll be honest, if I was the captain, it would have been a lot of F-bombs on the black box recording, followed by a explosion, because there's no way I could have kept my cool in that situation. Now, if I had had the training, right, and I had gone through the experience, I'm sure that Captain Sully Sullivan felt a great deal of fear, okay? He would be a sociopath or a psychopath. I'm not a psychologist, but I'm sure he was afraid, all right? But he manifested it in the right way. So that's what I want to talk to you about really quickly here, is the difference between unhealthy fear and healthy fear, okay? Now, unhealthy fear consumes 99% of those people in survival and survival plus mode. Anybody who's worried about their job, anybody that doesn't have a job, anybody that's making 500K, but it's all dependent on the fact that, you know, they don't have somebody come in and take their territory away from them. There's a really good very high probability that they're living in unhealthy fear. What is unhealthy fear? Unhealthy fear paralyzes us. Unhealthy fear cripples us. Unhealthy fear causes us to make poor decisions. I remember I used to skateboard a lot as a kid, and we skateboard on the half pipes, vert skating we called it. Man, I remember one time there's this huge ramp. I stood up there for an entire day with my skateboard holding over that lip, my hands shaking, right? I wanted to cry, but I knew I'd get beat up for a week if I was crying up there. And they made fun of me. Man, people were throwing their knee pads at me, helmets at me, everything, right? Come on, just drop in. And then I'd have to back off and somebody else would skate. That was unhealthy fear. Every single that ramp was, I think, 15 feet tall, right? Which is huge when you're a small kid, right? Everybody that dropped into that ramp was afraid. But I had unhealthy fear, right? I had fear that was literally paralyzing me. And when I finally dropped in, guess what happened? A lot of you might be saying, oh, nothing, it was great. No, I freaking face planted and broke my wrist, right? Why? Because I was consumed with unhealthy fear, right? I didn't take the time to go, okay, here's the situation. It's a bigger ramp than I'm used to. Have I ever dropped into a ramp this size? No. Are there people dropping in right now and they're just fine? Yes, absolutely, right? If I'm loose, if I'm calm, I've been skateboarding for 6 years. I've got this, right? Am I concerned? Hell yeah, absolutely. Do I have all of the skills necessary to do this? Absolutely, 100%. And then just flow, just trust my process and flow through my process. Once I got to that point mentally, that ramp was my best friend. I was at that ramp every day. People stopped making fun of me eventually because I was blasting huge airs out of the top of that ramp. They forgot about that kid that, well, I kind of actually did pee my pants just a little bit, but to them, they thought I almost peed my pants, okay? It was scary up there. I was up there a long time, right? There's no bathroom up there. You got to give me a break on that one. But there's a big difference between that unhealthy fear that I experienced for 2 days trying to get the courage to drop in before finally busting my wrist, and healthy fear, the healthy fear that I had every time I walked up there, right? I had healthy fear. This is going to be a big drop in. I'm going to go fast. Probably should look around. First, make sure there's nobody else on the ramp, right? That would be good. And then another thing that I learned is check for little puddles of water, right? Because it might have rained the night before and you didn't notice that, and then you drop right into a puddle of water. Not good. Once I knew all the things, hey, make sure I'm not going to run into anybody. Make sure my way is clear. Make sure there's no water. I'm good to go. I want you guys to start to get the feeling for healthy fear versus unhealthy fear. I've got a huge presentation. I've never done a $7 million deal before. My biggest deal was 700 grand, right? I've got this. How different can it be, right? I'm just going to weigh the situation. I'm going to look at the boardroom. I'm going to make sure that I ask the right questions. I'm going to slow down. I'm going to go through my closing process. That is all good, healthy fear. But if you're like, they're going to hate me, they're going to laugh at me, maybe I should fake sick and see if I can get out of this. Maybe I shouldn't do it unless Todd comes with me. That's the kind of unhealthy fear that's going to give Todd a reason for giving his sister-in-law your territory. You don't want to be consumed by unhealthy fear. Fear is normal. We all have it. Let's learn to work with it in a very healthy way. The world of sales has completely changed. Today's customer has access to more information. Today's customer has more choices. The business world needs you. Studies have shown that 84% of salespeople fail to achieve their goals. The old sales training, well, it just doesn't work today. I'd like to teach you how to take the stress out of selling in a way that's meaningful to you and your customers and get you 7 times more business. I'll show you how the perfect sales process works. I'm gonna walk you through everything from prospecting to closing the deal. I'm gonna show you how to determine your prospects' wants and their needs so you can build value in your solutions. You will learn how to handle any objection or complaint. I'm gonna show you how to connect with your customer so it's easy for them to buy from you. I've taught the best companies in the world and thousands of people just like you how to hit their targets. Selling is complicated. I'll simplify it for you. There's more competition than ever before. I'm gonna show you how to be number one. All of a sudden, your career, it's gonna make perfect sense, even if you've never worked in sales or the corporate world before. And for the advanced sales professionals, I'm gonna show you how to take things to the next level. Easton University is a new, simple, step-by-step process that's effective in any industry, large or small. You are about to become a certified master sales consultant. I'm Matt Easton, and this is Easton University.